My man. Doing the most. Doing the most. You know I had to remix this bitch. Shout out our boy. If I get caught up in a storm, pray the rain is keep me calm. All my life I dealt with pain, see no evil cause on. Chop it long just like a arm. New bitches we fucking on. Doing wrong without them knowing. I'm the GOAT if you ain't know it. And you can't go do what I've been through. Wish I had somebody I could vent to. And you can't go through what I've been through. Wish I had somebody I could vent to. I just need someone to call on. I've been making moves like Michael Corleone. I won't say that shit until it's set in stone. Bitch, don't say my name if you gon' say it wrong. I can't touch these drugs and keep my...
Yo, it's your boy CT Crusher here checking in. Just wanting to remind y'all to go subscribe to my homie Hoodie Jube for the Hoodie Jube live podcast. We talking pressing topics here for you every night of the week. Hit that ding dong bell to make sure you don't miss an upload. Come join in on the conversation. Help us expand the community. We do a lot of giveaways, give away to a lot of charities, giving away to the local children's hospital. And oh, by the way, if you want a chance to win free NFL tickets, yes, I said that, free NFL tickets, make sure you subscribe and hit the ding so you don't miss a chance to win free NFL tickets. Peace out.
You can't see us, I ain't going to the Super Bowl, talking black and gold. Cameron Jordan on the field, about to take a QB soul. Ever Camaro break a tackle, so you know he bold. Mike Thomas catching everything, so you know he cold. He talking Tyrann, dude, he talking Marcus May. We in the backfield, we gon' make them pay. Them boys hitting hard, they need an X-ray. Yeah. We talking black and gold. 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 Straight to the Super Bowl. Your time is up. Our time is now. Say Hoodie, you can't see us. Our time is now. Woo. Hoodie Jube in the building. We shining now. We shining. You can't see us. Our time is now. You heard me? Your time is up. Our time is now. Woo. You can't see us. Our time is now. Say Hoodie, Hoodie Jube in the building. We shining.
Here he is, Hoodie Jube. What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Hoodie Jube, and we back with another live podcast. And if y'all don't know, y'all will know. There's no Hoodie Jube, y'all. How is everybody doing tonight, man? I'm doing just fine over here. And yes, let me apologize to everybody for not going live in about a week or two. And the reason for it is because I did not realize the internet box that I was using, that I purchased to use by my parents' house, because their internet only gets like 3 megabytes per second. I bought this little Verizon box that gives me about 15 to 20, megabytes per second. So it's a little bit better than what they have. Did not know they had a limit on it, a 150 gigabytes limit. And I used that in 2 weeks. So I got to wait to the end of this month, the beginning of next month to start over again. So that's why I haven't streamed, because the 3 megabytes don't do nothing for me. I can barely upload videos, but I've been trying to push those out for y'all as well. So I do apologize for that. But if you're asking me where I'm at right now, I am at the casino with my girl, man. It was her birthday yesterday. So if y'all don't mind putting happy birthday in the chat for Madison over there, it is her birthday yesterday. So happy belated birthday to her. And while we at the casino for a few days out here, I will be using the casino's, internet, which is definitely a lot better than my parents. So if I do kick in and out, it's because of the internet. It's, like I said, it's not the best internet, but it's something better than what I was using at the house. So I can go live and talk some football with everybody in the chat, man. So, like I said, I apologize for that. But let's get it underway and let's just start talking some Saints football. But before we do that, let's give a shout out to every single one of y'all that's in the chat waiting on me. We got my man Pat to you. He said, "Who that, everybody? We was about to send a search unit for you, Hoodie. Good to have you back. Hey, you don't have to send no search unit. Your boy Hoodie's good. But I'm glad everybody, worried about me. If I wasn't going live for a whole month, then you might have want to send a search unit for me. I definitely would. We got my man, little Michael, in the chat. Who that to you? We got Edward the Green. Who that to you? We got the old freaking G, Jerry, in the building. Who that to you? We got Be Kind in the building. Who that to you? We got Barbara Williams. Who that to you? Pell fan. Who that to you? We got Miss Megan. Go Hawks. And who that to you? Glad to see you. We got Uneducated Sports Talk. Who that to you? He said, my big homie is back. Staying up, Who that Nation. Yes, staying up. Your boy Hoodie is back for a few days. You know, like I said, hopefully in the next, probably in the next week or two, I should be getting an office, hopefully, with some great internet because we know some people and they might let me rent it out. So let's pray that goes good to where I can stream every time I feel like it. I see T30 in the building, and he said, Hoodie Jube, you're a long time. He said, if you leave for a long time again, Hoodie, I am charging your butt $300,000. Well, I guess I better start grinding. Hey everybody, share this video. Let me make 300,000. I'm gonna have to pay this man. I'm gonna have to be gone for a little bit, like I said, until I get my internet fixed. So everybody, please share this video out with everybody that you know. We are trying to get $300,000 to pay T30, man. So please do that for your boy. We got my boy Maxed Up Podcast. Who that to you? What else we got up in here? We got my boy Real Fan Sports who was in here. Real Fan Sports, I'm going to bring him on in a second. You know, he hit me up and I told him he more than welcome to come on the show and do a collab with me and talk some Saints football tonight. So I got Real Fan Sports that's going to be on with us. Bring him on in a second. We got Mr. Lester. Who that to you, Mr. Lester? We got Miss Madison, y'all. Yes, Miss Madison in here, the birthday girl yesterday. So like I said, put happy birthday in there in the chat for her. Man, we got Traquan Smith in the building. Traquan, all I got to tell you, bro, you better grind hard and work hard and stop going to the clubs. I see what you be posting out there. You need to be working on your job is in jeopardy, my boy. Them boys, some of these boys ain't playing. So you better watch out, Traquan. That's all I can say. I see Miss Who Dat Dana in the building. Who that to you? We got Andrew Rose. Who that to you, Andrew? We got Empty Mining Gamings, which is Mr. Joe. Who that to you? We got Pammy Whammy in the building. How you doing, Pammy? Who else we got? We got Darrell. Who that to you? We got my boy King Nep in the building. Who that to you? We got Darkness in the building. Who that to you? We got Philly. Who that to you? We got my boy God of Creation. Who that to you? Who else we got up in here? Anybody else? Anybody I missed out on? Anybody that popped in late? We got my boy Last Man. Who that to you? We got Booker Rankin. Who that to you? What else we got? I guess I'm scrolling through here. We got my boy Saints Talk live from New York. Brandon, man. I know Brandon's going to pop in a little bit and hop on and come chat it up with us because I know he loves talking some Saints football, man. We got Big Daddy Jube in the building. Who that to you, Big Daddy? We got that Sports Talk guy. Who that to you? And I believe that's everybody. Unless you keep popping in. Like I said, I'm going to give y'all some shoutouts as y'all popping on in here. But it's time to talk some Saints football. And basically on the topic today, man, we're just going to be talking about us New Orleans Saints, talking about the roster that we have. What are the New Orleans Saints? You know, what are we as a team? What can this offense be? You know, like what can it be from the worst? What can happen to it at the best? You know, like what can this team be? And that's what I'm here to tell you about. And yes, Real Fan Sports is about to come on. And let's bring him on, man. My boy, Real Fans Sports. How you doing?
What's good, baby? How we doing? So, where you want me to put my money you owe for 300,000? I got my nickel and stuff. You got a piggy bank?
No. Just throw it through the screen. It should work. I'll catch it. All right, cool. All right, got it.
All right, we good. That's great.
I appreciate you. So everybody donate about a nickel and share it with everybody and see if they'll donate a nickel. We'll eventually get to the $300,000 that we got to give T30 for being gone for a long time. So I do apologize about that. We got official Young Nolan in the building, man. The one that made the intro song for your boy. Who that to you, my man? 504 Code in the building as well. Who that to you? So who that to everybody that's in here, man. And on Reals fans, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Let some people come on as well if they want to come chat it up in a little bit. But you and me can cover most of the topics right now. And basically the topic is what can this New Orleans Saints be? What will they be at the worst? Like if everybody got hurt, what can they do? or what can this team be if everybody stayed healthy and everybody clicks? How I guess you can say, where will you rank the Saints offense? Where will you rank us our defense? And where will you rank our special teams? If everybody stayed healthy all season and everybody starts clicking, where can we rank these people? And like me, I've been telling people we were dead last last year in offense at number 32. And I said, if the offense can just get to halfway mark, 16 to 15, just a top 15 offense, and the defense leave off where they left off last year in the top 5, we have us a Super Bowl team right there. And I tell people, we were number 4 defense last year, the top 4 defense in the league. And people are not realizing we still hanged in to get the number 4 at defense with the number 32 offense, which means they were on the field almost the whole game because their offense was so terrible. So just think of a top 15 offense with a number 4 defense who can eventually go to number 1 defense. I mean, you're going to tell me we can't win? And I keep telling people this damn offense with a Michael Thomas coming back, if he stays healthy, if he's even 85 to 90% of himself or what he was in 19 before he got hurt, people better watch out. Then you got Jarvis Landry, Chris Olave, and then here comes your number 1 receiver from last year, Marquez Callaway, as your number 4, number 5 receiver with Deontay Hardy. So I'm telling you, I feel like we can be top 15, I feel like, at the worst. But I feel like if we know what we're doing and we clicking and Jameis Winston leads off where he was last year, I can see us being a top 5 offense easily with the team that we have. People are just sleeping on it because, let me ask you this, Rose fans.
Yeah, go for it.
Name another team that actually have a lot of talent on their offense like that, where you can say, oh, my number 1 receiver last year for our team is our number 4 and 5 now, who can dominate.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely not a team like that. I mean, I think there's definitely some teams out there that have some, really talented, players in their offense. I think Cincy's definitely one of them. Even with the Rams losing, Woods and, possibly OBJ, with Van Jefferson and Kupp, obviously with their run game, I think they're still a high tier. But I think as far as our team and our unit, I think we have the most potential. I think we have potential that this could be something insane. Now, I think top 5 on offense is stretching it a little bit for me, just because I think there are going to be times with having some of the older guys with like Jarvis and stuff like that may, they might have a couple a little bit sleeper weeks, but because we have that young talent underneath them, we have opportunities for so many other people to blow up as well. I think like on a good side, like, floating around, 7th, 8th spot on offense is definitely reasonable. I think that's something that I could honestly see happening. Like you said, as long as injuries stay away and we click the way that I think we will. The only thing about our offense that I worry about is the offensive line a little bit, and then we're still trying to figure out that tight end position and how all that's going to work with whether it's Taysom or the other guys. I know we've all argued who we think should take in that starting position. So I think it's
definitely. I mean, I like it because I think the reason why I say I think we can get to a top 5 type of offense is just because of if Michael Thomas, like I said, comes back healthy and it's just 85 to 90% of what he was, that's already a problem for most people because you couldn't stop him when he was healthy. You couldn't stop him. And then I tell people, they was like, but I don't want Jarvis Landry on a team, really, to be honest with you, because he's basically another Michael Thomas. He's just a smaller version of him. He's just smaller. And I said, okay, so if you can't stop Michael Thomas, then how the hell are you going to stop him? And if you wrote about these 2 superstars on the team, then how the hell are you going to worry about our boy Chris Olave, who's going to take it down the field over the top? Like, how are you going to worry about every player?
And seeing Marcus Callaway come in and now not being the number 1 target, that's going to leave him open because he was getting guarded by the number 1 cornerbacks on the team. Like now he's going to be guarded by, the third guy. He's going to put some work on them for sure. Yeah. I feel like every time I get on to any of whether it's a stream like this or I'm talking Saints, like I always do like a little quick like run through on Twitter, just something to get my water boiling a little bit, get me a little heated. And just seeing all the disrespect that still comes out because just earlier this morning, I see someone saying that Michael Thomas is washed up, and I'm like, washed up? He had one injury. What are you talking about? And before that injury, he was the best in the league. Why are y'all saying he's washed up now? And then you see, a couple guys that, compliment him. I know Chad Ochocinco, I don't know if you saw him posted out. He said, y'all better watch out and, get ready because Mike Thomas is about to come back and show y'all who he really is. Because this dude is still a evil man on that field. You do not want to see him on there lined up across from you.
I mean, that's what and that's a good thing to hear that from a guy like, Chad Uncle Cinco, Chad Johnson, man, from a receiver that was a good receiver as well in the NFL. And he's basically just trying to tell you it's one injury this man had. And it's funny because how everybody hypes up the Jameis Winston thing, right? They call it a 30 for 30 when it's actually 33 for 30. It really hasn't been 2 years since we have seen Michael Thomas. They're acting like it's 2 years. He played through the 2021 season. Still was playing. He just wasn't playing all season long, but he was playing here and there. He'll stay out a few weeks, come back for some of the most important weeks. He played in the playoffs, and he just didn't play all last season. That's all. So you basically didn't have him for one season.
Right.
But they act like it's 2 years, and it's not. It just seems like it because he wasn't playing as much in the year before that, but he did play in the playoffs too, so don't forget. So it ain't like it's been 2 playoffs since we've seen him. It's only been 1 playoffs, and we didn't make it that year because and that's this is the next point. It's the kicker, right? We didn't have our kicker last year.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. Special teams wins games, guys. It wins whether it's your punting or it's your kicking. Like you got to have those two. They're important. They're very definitely underappreciated players on each team. Because with MT, everyone, we all saw his career record breaking season and stuff like that, and people they try to make that his like the level where he has to perform at that or he's not good. And even the year that he was hurt, he still was making crazy catches. He still had a crazy catch percentage. And he was hurt. Imagine him healthy. And we also know he might not have been quite as happy with the Saints during that time too. I think he's finally fully invested again. I think that plays a lot. Your mental playing a long physical season like the NFL is important. So seeing him not just physically, ready, but also mentally checked back in and ready to fight for his boys in the locker room and for the city, that's huge. That's scary.
It is. And I keep trying to tell people, and they don't listen. Because you notice, if you ever click on a lot of different YouTubers, right? You click on their videos and you hear all these people, okay, look, so this team is really more scarier and probably could be the best team in the NFC, but people are overlooking them because it isn't that. And you hear what they said and they tell you the numbers and they tell you what we did last year. But every single person that I heard keeps leaving this shit out and is making me mad. Y'all keep forgetting. We didn't make the playoffs. We went 9-8, so we still win a positive record. That's what everybody says. But the one thing they keep forgetting to say is we didn't even have a kicker, and we lost 3 of those games because we could not kick an extra point or a field goal. And they're leaving that out. I'm like, if we would have just had our field goal kicker, we would have won more games because we could have won with the special team and the defense. That's how close we could have easily beat some teams.
Me coming into last season, I was just hoping for somewhere between 9 and 11 wins. Like with new quarterback, all the stuff that went on between last season, the off season of last year. I was like, man, 9 to 11 wins, slip into a wild card spot. That would make me feel really good about this team. And then we went through hell and back that season, where like you said, a field goal kick away from being playoffs and still reaching that 9-win season. Like that's a big W for Saints fans. So like now coming back here and, hopefully you don't get hit with that injury bug again, but you got to be thinking how positive, because you're talking about 12-win season just off of missed kicks, not to mention the hurt players.
Too many.
It's hard to argue. It's hard to argue with it.
58 different players.
Right.
The NFL record of most different players played in. But people don't want to say nothing. And, I know I'm going to go off topic a little bit, man. And I just need to ask you this question, dig my chest, because I've been arguing with a lot of people on TikTok, on Instagram, you name it, wherever people
even on
YouTube. I love to argue. I love to argue because this is the shit that I want to get off my chest. I need to know what my Saints fans, what they think. And you're a Saints fan as well, but you sometimes honest. Sometimes
Yeah, I'm very honest. I'm very honest about everything.
I'm not being biased. I'm not being biased about this. Look, and to me, I'm not being biased because Jameis Winston is my quarterback. But some people will say, as they rake in, top 15, 20 quarterbacks, they keep putting people like Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray and all these quarterbacks above Jameis because they can scramble. And I asked him, I said, I love Lamar Jackson and Kyler Murray. I love their escapability, their escape artists and stuff like that. I love how they can do that. But I said, at the end of the day, can you really say Lamar Jackson is better than Jameis Winston just because he got an MVP? When do you go look up any of his seasons? Tell me when he drew more than 3,500 yards. I will wait.
Right.
He never drew more than 3,500 yards. That is not impressive. Just because he can run does not make him a better quarterback. Like, I'm going to draw for 3,000 yards, but rush for 1,000, so I'm MVP level. Okay, but you hate on Jameis for drawing 5,100 yards, but you're saying with the turnovers it's bad. Okay, well, Lamar turned the balls over too, but he's not reaching the high, level yards. Because remember last year, Jameis Winston drew 5 touchdowns in the Green Bay game, but he only drew for 150 yards. Well, who cares? By the time you add up all these games, he would equal about 3,000 like Lamar did, and he might have got 1,000 rushing yards with the way he was running last year. So I'm saying, why are people hating on Jameis like that and acting like Lamar and them is really better? But look and see who just got more passing yards. Your QB position is to pass and protect the ball. And the only time Jameis really turned it over was with Bruce Arians. That was the highest interception that he ever had in the season. And before that, if anybody wants to go research, I'll tell you, the most he ever drew before he got with Bruce Arians was 18 in the season. And that is not that bad. That's an average on some of these quarterbacks in the NFL, unless you Aaron freaking Rodgers just trying to make sure you don't turn that sucker over and you're scared of drawing to certain areas because it can get hit. So you just protect your interception and try to hold it down to 5 per year.
Definitely. Yeah, to play devil's advocate, and I don't agree with this point, is that a lot of people and a lot of average football fans, it's like, they don't look into what good James has done. They look at the bad. That 30-30 is always going to float over his head. It doesn't matter who. And I'm less mad at the people on media like through YouTube and TikTok and Twitter and stuff like that. I'm less mad at them, and I'm more mad at the people that are getting paid the big bucks to do this on national television and still have the same thing. It's simple. It's simple Googles. You could literally Google it and figure it out and give us some real insight, not just going based off of one single statistic. If I can do it as a Saints fan, can look up and see what good he can do, then so can you, getting paid hundreds, thousands, millions of dollars to do it. But so that's why I think they give him such a poor rating. I mean, as far as me, we actually have a video coming out. We haven't filmed it yet, where we're going to do our top. We're going to rank all the quarterbacks in the league, all the starting quarterbacks in the league. I don't have Jameis top 10. I definitely have him close to it, though. I think I have him around 12, just off of like initially guessing. But I'm not a Lamar Jackson fan. I never was. I don't think I ever will be. I like the dude's spunk. I like his attitude towards everything. But like, would I want him to be a quarterback of my team? Personally, no. Maybe it's just because I've watched Drew Brees be in that pocket passer that he is for so long, and I just enjoy that style of football better. Like, I'm more comfortable with that. Maybe that's why. But, is Lamar a freak athlete? Yes. Can Lamar win you games? Yes. But is Lamar going to consistently do this for several years to come? I don't think so. I think he's going to hit a peak at some point. And sadly, I think that MVP season is damn near his peak, unless he really comes out and shows us something totally different this year and gets some help, because his wide receiver core is terrible. I don't think we're ever going to see anything like that change with him.
Mm-hmm. And that's the same thing I was saying. I was arguing with a lot of people, like, especially these people who I guess they think they know football, and they put these little TikTok videos out and they tell you, yes, I think this team will make it to the playoffs, or I think this team, no. If you're going to say, yes, you think the Ravens will make it in this tough division, and they in the AFC, and they got no reason they got is literally Lamar Jackson and Mark Andrews and then their defense. But you're telling me the Saints are in a way weaker NFC division, and with the team that we have, with the receiving core we got now, with what we did last year with the people we had, and you're going to tell me you don't think we can make the playoffs? This just shows me that you don't watch football and you don't know it.
Right. Right. Yeah, and I like what you highlight. What Brute Saint says. People sleep on Winston's rushing ability. Yeah, he's not going to go out and look for the rush first, but his ability, because he is so big, to get out, and he has a little bit of space, he will be able to get you a couple. He's huge. He's got long strides. It don't take him but a couple of steps to gain 5 or 6 yards to get into that first down position. Like, is definitely an underrated part about his game. He's definitely not quick. He's definitely not fast, but he's big and he can move. I'd say he's like a slightly less, or I don't even know if I'd say slightly, maybe a little more than slightly less athletic version of like Josh Allen. Josh Allen obviously is like really talented with running with the ball, and he uses his big body well. Now, I don't want to see Jameis moving like that, especially after the ACL tear, but he has that bag in him.
Hey, it's okay, because I tell people this. I know we don't like seeing Jameis run, especially we don't want to see him run again this year after what happened last year, with the dirty tackle. Now, what I know, like like Bruce Saint said, it does look kind of funny, right? It doesn't look as normal as a Lamar Jackson and all of that. But what I like about it is that he can still pick up a first down if you need him to, and he's gonna get some yards. Another thing I like about him, he's 6'3". So he's definitely 3 inches more than what Drew Brees was, maybe 4 inches taller than him, which means if we just need a QB sneak, you don't have to put Taysom Hill in anymore and fight. Literally, Jameis Winston can just literally move the ball right through there, and it's a first down because he's so tall. He's got the length on him and stuff, and that's what I love about Jameis. And then I know you've seen it, and everybody else seen it. What we have on Twitter so far about all the news from Real Super, I think his name is Real Super Nola, who is partners with Jameis Winston, showing the workout they did in Miami, how they got together. They went and studied film, and Jameis up there showing them how to plays, telling them play by play what to do. Then they go out there and they working out, keeping them all in shape. He's literally there while they drinking. He's just sitting down, just chilling, just giving them a look like, I'm gonna take this out on y'all.
Dude,
workout later.
Video cracked me up.
I know.
Cracked me up.
He's like,
he's such a
I got you.
clown.
He said, "Oh, y'all drink. Yeah, y'all have fun. I'll see you on the field tomorrow. See how y'all are. Okay,
Right.
see. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta love him. He's funny, but he's a leader at the same time.
Well,
and he
did
cares.
you see the Oh my goodness, I'm gonna forget the dude's name. Was it oh, it's gonna drive me insane. He's on the show. No, he's not on the show with Shannon Sharp. What's his name? Anyway, one of the guys that has his own show on ESPN. They were doing a comparison of Baker and other quarterbacks in the NFC, and they were trying to see what quarterback they'd rather have. If they'd rather have Baker or if they'd rather have another quarterback from the NFC. And whenever it came up to Jameis, they didn't even mention this man's athletic ability or throwing ability or anything like that. He said, I'd rather Baker because to me, Jameis is just a clown and he doesn't take things seriously. And I'm like, since when did this agenda come out? Like you're telling me whenever he's got his pads on, he's ready to play, that he's not all business because he jokes around the locker room or jokes around, pregame, that he's not taking things serious. I was like, man, this is unbelievable. Colin Cowherd, thank you,
Yep.
Booker. Yeah, I was like, this is a joke.
Hey, it's okay. Let them talk their shit. Let them think everybody is completely better than Jameis, and then when everybody is betting and all are literally picking everybody against the Saints. Every time it happens, the Saints blow the shit out of that team because they take that and use it as an advantage and use it as motivation to them to play even harder. That okay, every team thinks we trash, fine, bet, and we just kill people. That's what we do. The defense literally looks at it and said, "That's what y'all want to say? Just watch. All right, just watch. Oh, y'all think Tyrann Brady's gonna whoop our ass this game now after the third and fourth whooping? Okay, cool. We're gonna shut them out 9-0. How about that? Oh, they don't have no Jameis Winston at quarterback. It's Taysom Hill, and they ain't got no receivers. Oh, yeah, they losing. But who won? We won 9-0. That's what I'm trying to tell people. We use it as motivation, so y'all can talk shit all y'all. And that's why I always go into the chats on TikTok and everybody, and I listen to these people video, and I said, hey, I usually watch your video. They're pretty nice, but I don't agree with this. But I did like this one guy. Okay, I don't know how he did it, but he's a Cowboys fan. And he put that, he does the little TikTok where it says, this is the most overrated player. This is the most underrated, the most hated player. This is a team that are dogs but don't get the respect that they deserve and stuff. But he did it like that, but ranking the team. And I have to respect this man. He's a Cowboys fan. and he put the Saints under the part where these are the dogs, but they don't get the respect that they deserve. And I said, man, thank you for putting respect on the Saints. And, and then you got the people who talk shit about us. And then I'm like, y'all stupid. Y'all don't know football if you're telling us you don't think we're going to make the playoffs.
Right. And
you don't even think we can't even get 6 wins. Like, what team are you looking at?
Right. And just to get back to the initial question, I know we're venturing. Like we said, so what do you see? Where do you rank our offense? What do you think is the highs and the lows for us?
So me, if somebody asked me and said, Hoodie, where did you rank the offense? Now, I look at other people's offense and I look at everybody and I say from top to bottom on paper, if everybody stays healthy and everybody clicks in and do what they're supposed to do, they easily are top 10. But if no injuries at all and everything goes smooth, I think they could be a top 5 because nobody has this type of offense. Because why? I already mentioned Michael Thomas coming back. You can't barely guard him. Now you can't guard Jarvis on the other side because he's the mini me of Michael Thomas. You got Chris Olave going down deep now.
And you're not even ready for Chris Olave. They're not even ready. There's no game plan to decide what he's going to do and how he's going to cook them. There is nothing they can study to figure it out because, I mean, just like we've seen with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson coming straight out of college, like people thought they'd have a game plan, all these young bucks coming in. And right now, the young wide receivers that are coming to the league are all crazy, bro. They're all crazy. They're so talented. And I think Chris Olave is going to be just like that. He's going to come out there and he's going to shock and he's going to put, his name's going to be in other people's mouths soon. It ain't going to take long. It's going to take a couple games. They're going to be like, oh man, this is who they grabbed. Yeah, we're in trouble. We're in trouble now.
Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Like I said, so you got those good receivers. Then you don't even add that you got to bring Callaway and Deontay, who was connecting really good with Jameis, as their number 1s and number 2s. Now that you're number 4 and 5. And then I tell people, so we talked all about them receivers that you can't stop. Well, I still didn't miss in Kamara that's in the backfield that you got to stop. And then if he's comes back after his suspension, or if he even gets suspended at all, and he's just balling out and behind the run game, then you're gonna have to play against play action, which is Jameis Winston's best thing is play action. He can kill people with the play action so bad. It's like this team is easily a top 5 if you look them on paper and you say, okay, cool. But other teams and other people who watch sports will say we're a top 15, top 20 offense because of Jameis Winston at QB. If they would have anybody else at QB,
that's fine with me. Let them not game plan accordingly. Let them not be ready. Let them be on their heels. Let us catch them sleeping. Just allow them, because when that first play comes out, it's gonna remind us back and this is a bold statement. It's gonna remind us back in them early 2010 days where them first plays of the game are going to be touchdowns again. That first possession is going to be touchdowns again, and they're going to be quick, and it's going to get that defensive team riled. It's going to get them scared. It's going to make them curl up. They're going to look like dogs with their tails between the legs. That's what's going to happen. I'm ready for that, man. Like I'm getting all juiced up. Like we're a month away from preseason. 2 months from regular season. Like these juices are going. I'm ready for this. This is going to be a great season.
I know. And then what people are not even looking at, and this is what pisses me off. Tell me if you see the same thing, okay? I need to know. Are you seeing the same shit on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all these sports people you watch? Do they say the same thing that I'm saying right now? Oh, my gosh, Tyrann Mathieu. Oh, my gosh, the hottest free agent. Come to my team. You come to my team. Yeah, you come to my – oh, Marcus May, one of the best Saints out there too. Oh, now they overrated because they're on the Saints. Like, oh, my God.
Now they're old. Now they're old, and now they're washed. So, actually, that pulls up like the exact point I was going to make whenever we started talking about how we're going to rank the defense, because I actually saw on Twitter just a couple hours ago, I think it was a Jets fan that put up his tier list. He said he based it completely off of just roster on where he ranked them, S tier, A tier, B tier, whatever. And he had as S tier, he had the Saints, Green Bay, and the Bills as the 3 S tier teams. And I'm like, dang, hold on, wait, someone's actually throwing some respect towards the Saints? I'm like, no kidding. I was like, this is nuts. I go check the replies. Of course, every single reply. Oh, this list is BS. Like this don't count. you don't even know sports. And he would mess with me like, why you say that? He goes, because they said you got one of the bummiest defenses as a S tier. And they were like, the Saints aren't that good. They're filled with a bunch of washed up players. And I was like, oh, that's what you think. All right. Like, I'm like, now you got me heated. Now you got me heated. I had to keep my fingers clear. I didn't want to get into an argument that early in the morning. I had to keep, I just had to set the phone down, put it on the charger, walk away for a little bit. But I was like, man, that's some craziness. All of a sudden, like you said, everybody wanted Tyrann Mathieu, want him on the team. You come here, you do this, come here. Now he's old and washed up. I don't know.
No, and no, and this is, and look, this is how I feel. And tell me if I'm wrong on that, okay? If you really know football, you will listen and you will look and you will name it like I'm saying it right now. This is what you will say out your mouth. Okay, right. Tyrann Mathieu, an elite safety, one of the best safeties in the game, especially when he was in his prime, and he still got juice left in the tank. He helped the Chiefs win a Super Bowl. He held that defense in check. Leadership is a key, and his ability to go sideline to sideline. He can do anything. You can put him at free safety, strong safety, you name it, nickel. You good. You don't know where he's gonna be lined up, but he's so good you can put him anywhere. But now he's washed up because he's a little bit older. But people are not realizing that he's not Tyrann Mathieu, the guy on the defense.
Right.
He got 5 other guys on the team that can easily be the guy, which means I don't have to perform at the very highest level and be like this, looking for Daniel Sorensen somewhere because I'm not that guy anymore. I don't have that type of guy on the field when I'm on there. I got a guy like Marcus May with me, Marshawn Lattimore, Debo, CJ Garner-Johnson. I got DeMario freaking Davis, Pete Warner, Cameron Jordan, Davenport. I got all these players to help me and not say I'm the guy anymore. Now, but I am the guy on the defense that's going to be the leader, that's going to keep us in check. And CJ Garner-Johnson said out of his mouth, that's what Tyrann Mathieu's here for. Answer all the questions. Why are you asking me?
So, and, the thing with Tyrann Mathieu too is, in college we knew him as just a freak of an athlete, right? When he got into the NFL initially, he was still a freak athlete, but like he definitely had to be humbled a little bit with how crazy all these athletes are, and it was more leveling the playing field for him. So what did he do? And I think this is what makes the difference of why it doesn't matter his age as much is that he got smarter. His game style is smart. He knows and studies this game and he understands it. His ability to predict where the ball is going to go. And you'll see him. And I think it might've been the last time I was on here that someone mentioned it, that you'll see him run out in a direction and you're looking and you're like, where is he going? And then all of a sudden he gets a pick. And it's like, how'd you know that he was going there? He's not just an incredible athlete that, whenever he hits that age, all of a sudden the speed goes down, the strength goes down. His intelligence only getting higher. And that's going to allow him to still play at a high level, even at, I think he's 30 years old, 31, whatever it is.
I think so. Like, I think he just turned 30 or something. Like, he's young still.
Right. So he's still, like the washed up thing, it just don't make sense because, playing, if he's a corner, maybe because he's slower, might not be able to do it, but playing that safety position and understanding football is the number one quality you can have as a safety. So since he understands the game so highly and can help direct and lead people and get them in the right direction and then him play his game, it's gonna allow him to play good for a lot of years. That's why I'm not worried about that at all. That's why I think it's funny. I think it's comical when people say stuff like that.
He kind of reminds me, and I'm gonna say it like this. He reminds me of a younger version of Malcolm Jenkins. He's just like 3 or 4 years younger. So you got for another 3 to 4 or 5 years, over Malcolm Jenkins. And this thing, you're not having to be the guy like Malcolm Jenkins was. Remember, Malcolm Jenkins was the guy for the Eagles too. Like Tyrann Mathieu was for the Chiefs. And then he finally came back to New Orleans Saints as we had more players. And Malcolm Jenkins got to play for another 2 or 3 years in our defense because he wasn't the guy. If he would have stayed with the Eagles, I think Malcolm Jenkins would have probably had to retire a little bit sooner, having to do too much on that defense and having to be in control.
Right. And also being head coach now by a defensive style head coach that understands, all that and what goes into it, and to be able to extend his years and allow him to play what's best for him, that's going to help it as well. It just like how it was able to extend Malcolm Jenkins' career, it's going to help extend his as well. Because even Michael Jenkins last year, it wasn't like he had to retire. Like he still was playing pretty good, but I'm sure he's just ready to enjoy the beaches in the Bahamas or whatever, and just sit back and relax.
Definitely, man. Like I said, he played a long time, got drafted by us, won a Super Bowl with us, left, went to the Eagles, won a Super Bowl with them, came back to the Saints, tried to push for another one, but we couldn't because we got robbed on a few shit. And then everything went downhill. Drew Brees kept getting hurt every year, and it just was not the same.
Right.
So it's cool, but I love Malcolm Jenkins for what he did. He won us a Super Bowl. He won Eagles, won. And then he came back to end his career as a New Orleans Saints, where he first started his career. So I got respect for him. And I love what Darkness put in the chat as well. He put Jube, which is Jameis Winston, is like a fine wine. He will only get better with time. And it's so true that this man can do whatever he wants. Like, this is what I ask people. If he drew for 5,100 yards that season, drew 33 touchdowns and 30 interceptions with a bad O-line, not as many weapons that Tom Brady did when he came, not a great defense, had a terrible coach that shows you that no matter who your coach is, no matter how long you've been with Bruce Arians in your first season with him, you're going to draw high interceptions. He did all of that and bad surgery. If he did all of that and never had one good coach, never got to sit behind a Hall of Fame quarterback, never got to do none of the stuff that some of these quarterbacks did that are Hall of Famers now. Just think of what Tom Brady did. Sat behind somebody, then came on the field because that person got hurt and he took over ever since. Look at Aaron Rodgers. Had to sit down and got drafted behind Brett Favre, and then he took over. So all of these quarterbacks that became great, Mahomes, perfect example. Didn't start right away. He was behind Alex Smith. Alex Smith got hurt. And then what happened? He takes over. So all these teams, so like this, when I tell people this, and I like this, is Patrick Mahomes really that dude? Like, is he really that guy? Because he had the opportunity to get drafted at number 10, number 12, not at number 1 to the worst organizations in the world with nobody to play with for a few years. No, he got drafted to sit behind somebody with good weapons already in place, good place for you. That's the question I like to ask people. Would it be different at a different, landing spot and more stuff to work with?
I'm not a fan of like all the what if questions and stuff like that, because I think we could say the same thing is what if Drew Brees didn't go to the Saints and went to Miami? What would he have done there? Would he have never got a Super Bowl? Yeah, he probably never would have got a Super Bowl. Like, would he be considered a Hall of Famer? Because his numbers in San Diego, they were good, but it was average to good. So like there's too many what ifs. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of quarterbacks that get put into great situations. Tom Brady is one of them especially. And like, I'm not one to argue against anyone that says that Tom Brady is one of the best quarterbacks to ever do it. His rap sheet, checks the marks off, but you could say the same thing for Tom. He got to sit behind Bledsoe. Is that right? I'm forgetting names.
Yeah, right, I think it was Bledsoe or something like that.
And he had won a Super Bowl. Just I think like he won a Super Bowl with the Patriots earlier on, or at least got there. I can't remember exactly. Getting coached underneath Belichick. Had a good system. Belichick did well with keeping him and creating a system for him to play well. If he was on a different team, would he have done as well? Probably not. So like, that's why I don't like those hypotheticals, with that situation. Because do I think Patrick Mahomes is one of the most talented quarterbacks in the league? I 100% do. 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
On talent. I love his on talent. Run out, sideways throws, because he used to play baseball and stuff like that. And that's what I love about it. It's like, yes, Mahomes is a good quarterback. I think he can be easily, a top 3 quarterback in the league, when you name Josh Allen and stuff. But the reason why people ask me, like, well, Mahomes won the ring, why are you saying he's behind Josh Allen? I said, look what Josh Allen did. Came from a college, Wyoming, got drafted, went to the Bills, went to a terrible organization, they were not good. And he worked his way up each year, getting better and better. They put pieces around him, and look how far they got last year. But they fell short because that defense.
That's why I'm a Josh Allen stan, bro. That's why I love Josh Allen, just because, like you said, he came from literally the, them and the Jets were just trading places to who got last. You know, they were just taking turns. I feel like they play rock paper scissors every season to see who would come up last, because like his ability and his continuous improvement every year has been great. Now, last year, I honestly didn't see as much of an improvement. You know, that the jump before that, the previous year was incredible. But I think Patrick Mahomes has kind of peaked, and I think this is going to be a big year for him. You know, losing Tyreek Hill, who was kind of like that safety blanket where, you know, like he said, you know, Tyreek's out there somewhere, I can check it up. You know, still has Kelsey. They went and grabbed Juju Smith. So, I mean, he still has some weapons. So, I mean, it'll see. But anyone that says Patrick Mahomes isn't a great quarterback, like, I mean, I think that's just kind of out of their mind. I do see a lot of people saying that Peyton wanted Mahomes. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those it's one of those sad things where, like, I wouldn't have liked us to grab him and then you know, shift Brees' career earlier than what he wanted to, just because the respect I have for Drew Brees. Like, I hate any organization that gives any player the Eli Manning treatment like the Giants did with him, you know. But if we had Mahomes, that'd be just like disgusting. That wouldn't be fair. You know? And we'd probably still have Sean Payton coaching. I know some of us like that, some of us don't, but you know.
Hey, I mean, that's another question I can ask you about, because somebody brought this up the other day. What do you think about the Sean Payton thing? You know, where they said, you know, these are supposedly rumored teams that he would like to go to, you know, the Giants, and Dallas was another one. But the real question is, when I look at different people's comments saying like, oh, this is the teams that he wanted, you know, it's rumors, it's not confirmed until you actually see everything and you actually hear him say it out of his damn mouth. Like, yes, I said that these are the teams that I would love to coach for. Is there really? Because somebody said the other day, I heard out of his mouth, he said, I think there's still a possibility that Sean Payton will return to the Saints in the next year or two if the thing does not work out with Dennis Allen. Because why would you leave a talented team like this? Like, let's say Dennis Allen and them, you know, nobody gets hurt. They all good, but they just wasn't really coached as well. You know, they fell short again. Then you think Sean Payton would not come back to a talented team like this?
So, I mean, do I think he won't? I mean, I think he would, you know, but, you know, I'm big in, you know, like not looking into a rear view mirror, you know, like whenever I turn, like, I don't check my like sides. I'll just get out of my way. I'm just kidding. I put a blinker on. We're okay. But like, you know, I'm big into like not looking back, you know, like, you know, I think it was like one of those relationships where it was just a mutual breakup. I think it was just kind of time we're kind of going, I wouldn't say in a new direction, but like, you know, we're creating a new culture over here, a new set of players, you know, hopefully a new dynasty over in New Orleans. And I think going back, it's almost worse than just moving forward and dealing with what we have or what the steps are, you know. I mean, now, if Dennis Allen is doing, you know, absolutely just shits the bed and it doesn't work out and Payton is an option, you know, I wouldn't be mad at it, but also I just don't like the idea of just going back in time and trying to rekindle what was already taken out.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, I would love to have, you know, Sean Payton back because, you know, you got a really good offensive-minded coach and stuff like that. But how I see it is that after what happened with him just leaving, wanting to take time off, you know, and soon as he left and Dennis Allen was announced your coach, people were kind of tripping at first. I don't know about Dennis Allen, whatever. I think we should go get the guy from the Chiefs, you know, we should get this guy instead. I'd rather an offensive-minded coach instead of that. But then after people gave this man about 2 weeks, and he started bringing in Tyrann Mathieu, drafted Chris Olave.
That was a PR. That was a PR move. That was a PR move for sure for Dennis Allen because he knows if you don't love New Orleans, they ain't gonna love you back. So like that was definitely a big PR move for him. The one thing I'll say is you know like a lot of people looked at Dennis Allen's you know, record as a head coach with the Raiders. And so whenever you know, all this went into effect, you know, I talked to my co-host Nonfiction. He's a diehard Raiders fan, has been a Raiders fan since he was a baby. So I talked to him and asked him about his tenure with the Raiders and like why it went so poorly, you know, and he basically said, he's like, you know, it really wasn't a fair chance a fair shot for him, because I believe that was the time whenever they were switching ownerships. They had gotten a new GM over there, and there was a lot of things going on, and he was just basically the guy that got the short end of the stick that got the blame for it. So, his head coaching can't necessarily be judged off of that, that one or two seasons, whatever it was, over with Oakland.
Yep. Because I was telling some people the other day, because I was arguing with somebody. Like I said, I always argue with people, because I think they stupid when they say dumb shit. Like, the reason why I don't see the Saints winning too much is not only because of Jameis Winston's their QB. He's a what if. Like if he does do good, or if he does limit his turnovers, then yeah, the offense could be pretty good. But I'm more worried about their new head coach of Dennis Allen, of him, because of what happened with him back in the day with the Raiders. And I'm like, did your research? This happened almost 10 plus years ago. Did you see the team that he had? Did you see his roster? Did you see the defensive players and the offensive players they had? They had Jamarcus Russell.
You can literally they had Jamarcus Russell. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that explains it.
The biggest bust draft ever. And people just ain't making no sense to me, man. You know what I'm saying? It just don't make no sense to me. Is that you wanted to judge somebody from 10 years plus. So you want to judge him off of that. Now, you draw that out the window now. He's still been with the Saints now. Since what, 2010, 11, 12, whatever it was. He's been here. And then he left for a little bit for like 1 year and then came back again. And he's been here since 2015 through now. So he's been in here. The team knows him. The coach knows him. We all know who Dennis Allen is, and we know he's a great defensive guy. And to be honest with you, I am glad to have a dude like Dennis Allen in place, because like we said, he's been there for years. He's holding that culture down. He's holding that team into place. But not only he's doing that, he is a defensive-minded guy. And you need a defensive coach like that, a defensive-minded team to win games. And look what Bill Belichick and them did for years of just winning.
Well, been a Saints fan obviously since birth, being from around here. And so like my dad used to tell me all about the Dome Patrol when he was growing up, how crazy that defense was, how great that defense was. And just telling me, is like, dude, it's like something that you wouldn't believe. Like, and he said, watching Saints now, like this conversation happened back like 2007 ish, when our offense was really good, but our defense wasn't, or maybe a little late in 2007, but whatever, you get the point. And I wouldn't mind getting back into that. And since that's the trend that our team is moving towards, it only makes sense to move towards a more defensive minded approach, whether it's from the head coach thing. Because, a lot of people like offense. Offense, sells seats. The league is trending just like how the NBA is trending towards higher scoring and stuff like that. The NFL is trending that way too with, but a great defensive team is going to be a shock for that reason. I also wanted to bring up one of the comments that official Young Nola had about the topic. He said, but do y'all really want to see Peyton back? Because that'll mean more drafting undrafted players.
It's true. Undrafted players.
Right. He found some steals in there. There, but could we have gotten it cheaper?
Deontay Hardy, Marquez Callaway. That's just a few of them that we know that
Marcus Colston. Right.
Marcus Colston was a 7th rounder, which was
he was 7th rounder.
Literally, that was almost an undrafted player.
Right.
And you saw what he do. So it just depends on what you fit in. So funny though, I think my most favorite thing about the Saints season, this upcoming season, is not only I'm ready to see what we can do to see how good this team can be without Sean Payton and Drew Brees, both of them not there now, but no matter how much I'm ready to see what Chris Olave does for us, what Jarvis Landry does for us, I want to see what Michael Thomas is going to do with a guy like Jameis, who can actually throw it further than 30 yards. I wonder if they're going to stop calling this man the slant boy, because he's going to be running, bigger routes than what they think he will. Oh, everybody's like,
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, he's just going to run slants. But he comes out running deep on your head, and they just get confused. I can see something like that happen. And that's what I really can't wait to see, form. I'm just ready to see something like that more than me wanting to see what Chris Olave does. Because, like I said, Everybody wants to call him a slam boy because, you know, he had a guy like Drew Brees as his quarterback. But now you got a dude that can throw 60, 70 yards.
People get mad whenever players are really good and find anything to shut them down. And that's just facts. And the one thing I hope, and because, you know, every NFL player, and Mike Thomas ain't no different. He has a little bit of ego on him. And he definitely likes to check and see what people are saying about him. And I hope that doesn't just run on his game, because I know he can do more than just slants. Obviously, we've seen it. Even when they called him Slant Boy, he was doing way more than that. Most of his catches were I forget what all the statistics were, but he caught several catches, 20 yards plus, and different things like that. But I just hope he continues to play his game and be the best version of himself, because that's what we need. Because of now having so many options and having a quarterback that can sling it, allow everyone to play their part and to do what they got to do for us to win games. Like, it's got to be a team thing. It's got to be everybody in it together, not everybody in it for one, you know?
Definitely. And this is what I wanted to ask you too, and then we'll bring on Mr. Jerry and you know, Gotta Grayson and Miss Megan that's waiting in the back. Yeah, they are waiting in the back. We're gonna bring them on shortly. But this will be my last thing I can think of, because, you know, I was thinking, like you said, you know, we got to click together as a team and stuff. But remember, I was telling you, I think our team can easily be a top 5 if everything happens, no injuries, alone, everything's working fine. I think we could be a top 5. But can't you even see that happening, just because, not only because of our offense, like let's say our offense playing at a top 10 level, right? You know, they just doing okay, you know, they doing a top 10 offense. I think they can easily be a top 5 just because of the defense upgraded so good. And now that they're not on the field as much, they can be less tired and could be making more turnovers to where we're just getting more points on the board just because we got better field position. Like, just like Tom Brady and the Bucks beat the Saints when Drew Brees was hurt in that divisional game, remember, in the playoffs. They won because it wasn't Tom Brady balling out. The defense gave him the ball with the turnovers on Jerry Cook's fumble, or, you know, an interception off or a bad pass or whatever, and they got in field goal range easily, or was right here to easily get a touchdown. And I think with the Saints defense that we have now with an upgrade, nobody gets hurt, everybody plays well, and chemistry stays the same. They can get a lot more turnovers.
if we're looking at straight roster, like I said, the only things that worry me is offensive line and tight end. I'm really not worried about Jameis. Yes, do I think he still has some things to prove in my eyes to be able to rank him within top 10 quarterbacks? Yes. I mean, that's just being honest. You know me, I like to be realistic with things. You know, I like to just give my honest opinion. I don't try to sugarcoat nothing. But do I see him having that potential? Yes. And I think with the roster that we have, to say that we couldn't be top 5 is absurd. Now, will I say that I think they'll be top 5 right now? No, I won't. I'll keep them, like I said. I think I got them around 7 or 8. But if they get top 5, like, I wouldn't be surprised. I'll be extremely happy. And they'll even, you know, they'll come at me a little bit. Like, you can yell at me if that ends up happening. You'd be like, don't be. See, I told you not to hate on them. Like, you can tell me.
Oh no. I'm not putting them in the top 5 right now. What I'm saying is, on paper, nobody gets hurt. Jameis leaves off where he was last year without Sean Payton there now. You know, he just leaves off and he takes Sean Payton's and Drew Brees' advice. Is that whatever's there is what you take, and you take the downfield if you really see it open, like he did last year when the Deontay Hardy or somebody was open. He'll take that shot. If it wasn't there, he checked down the Kamara. If he does that, nobody gets hurt. And with the team that we have on paper and everybody is their self, 100% their self, we easily a top 5 offense. Like, who's stopping it?
Yeah, you know, I meant to say it earlier and I had forgotten is, you know, one thing with I know we're trying to get everybody else on, so, you know, I'll try to make it as quick as possible. You know, I like to talk. You know, with Jameis, I think the best thing has happened in his career was the fact of having to leave Tampa, because, like you said, starting underneath a quarterback that, you know, has experience and has done well in the league, such as Patrick Mahomes behind Alex Smith, such as we said, Tom Brady with Bledsoe, Aaron Rodgers with Favre, and all this stuff. It really changes your mentality and how you play. I think this step back of going from, you know, kind of a laughing stock in the NFL, even though we all knew he was talented because of the yardage that he can hit and his throwing ability, his decision making, what was in question. I think that time of just humbling, taking the league minimum, working as not just a backup but a third string for us for that year, and then opting to come in again and stay behind us again just shows that like he is willing to educate and learn and understand what is going on. And I think this is going to be not just like I think this is almost like a restart to his career. Like it's a shame. It's a shame that it happened that he had to get injured last year, because I think we'd be having totally different conversations. I think the whole league would be having totally different conversations about him if it wasn't for that injury. And I think this is the new Jameis Winston. This is a Jameis Winston that no one's ever seen before. His decision weight is going to be greater. He finally has a coaching staff, a roster, teammates that he can rely on, trust, that he can mess with. And I think this is going to be the Jameis Winston that we expected to see coming out of college as a first-round draft pick, #1 overall.
Definitely. And then last thing, and we're going to bring Jerry in more, and I just thought about it. Don't forget and don't sleep on Pete Carmichael. Last time we seen this man in charge of the offense, he had us at the #1 offense in the league. So don't sleep on him. And now you got to do like Jameis. No hate on Drew Brees, but a dude with a more talented arm, a deeper throwing arm.
Yeah.
And you got to do like Michael Thomas out there instead of coasting. You got to do like Jarvis Landry and Chris Olave and Lee Henderson. And the only thing, like I said, is just the tight end that you're worried about. But because you don't have a Jimmy Graham. But I do like Taysom Hill. Speed at tight end that people might not be able to keep up with.
And like you said, with the otthe options and stuff like that, they're going to have to pay attention to the other people. So, and like Taysom Hill in open space, he's going to get you extra 5 yards every time. The other thing I wanted to say was, did I lose it? I think I lost it, bro. I think I lost it. So go ahead and
you lost it in your head. Oh, you good?
I lost it, bro. It's in there somewhere. I lost it. It'll come back to me. I'll mention it later.
It'll come back. It'll come back to you. But like I was saying, Taysom Hill.
I remember.
I know. Oh, say it. Hurry up, say it.
Okay, before it goes away. Is that the one biggest thing I've said this before is that like I want to see them allow Winston to play, allow him to warm up. First couple games of the season, allow him to warm up like normal. Run your normal schemes. Don't throw nothing crazy at him. Get him loosened up in the early game. But then let this man play. Let that man fly. Stop clipping his wings. All right. If you got to push him off the ledge one game and just let him make a couple mistakes and just get him comfortable back there, that's fine. Do it around game 3, and then let this man fly. Let his talent be what it is, because he is a talented quarterback. Don't hold him back. Let him be the player he can be, and just see what we got from there. Because there's a lot of times during the season when he was starting where I felt like either they just weren't confident in him, like you talked about the check down passes and stuff like that. Of course, I don't want him to force. I want his decision making to be definitely higher tier. We know that's hanging over his shoulder, but as his maturity comes, he's gonna stop listening. He knows his talent. They got to remind him of his talent. If he makes a mistake, it's just like the idea of like Steph Curry, when you go and miss 5-6 3-pointers in a row. Coach Kerr goes back and said, keep shooting them. You're gonna make them. Don't worry about it. Let him go out there and let him make them plays. Because whenever that happens and he feels loose and he starts getting that arm warmed up and he starts feeling comfortable inside that pocket, getting them legs moving, rolling out to the outside, getting a feel to where the wide receivers like the ball going, Jameis is special, and he will be special this year.
Definitely. So I think the best thing now is to bring on Mr. Jerry and Miss Megan and everybody. So let's bring on Mr. Jerry first. But I'd like to introduce him with just a quick you know who it is. It's freaking Jerry. They call him the O freaking G. The one who bring those subscribers to you. Jerry.
Yo!
That's right, y'all. Hoodie Jube is back in the building, y'all. Come on. That's right, y'all. Been gone for a minute, but he's back right now, baby. We got my man Real Fan Sports in the building. Y'all make some noise. Come on, come on. This your boy DJ JR coming at you one time on the Hoodie Jube podcast. Y'all know what we're doing over here, baby. Let's get it.
Real fans looking like Pat McAfee on Friday Night SmackDown, jumping on the table daily.
That's right, y'all.
Bro, when I heard it go on, I was like, oh shit, let me get jiggy with it real quick.
Welcome back, Hoodie Jube. Welcome back, my brother. How are you, my brother?
I guess I can say I'm doing good, my man. Doing good. Just working. Like I said, I'm back with the parents for a little bit. But me and my parents, we was talking. We trying to get trying to rent out an office room with better internet with my mom's office, because they do have extra rooms. Hopefully, I can get one. If not, I'm definitely gonna know how to limit my internet now for sure.
Good luck.
Now I know that it's gigabytes. It's limited. I thought it was unlimited, but it wasn't. So now I know how to fool with that because I told my parents if I have to, instead of streaming for 5 hours, we'll stream for 2 to 3 hours. And try to save up more data. So I can stream as much because, like I said, not going live with y'all for 2 weeks was definitely boring. Definitely. It was definitely not fun.
Yeah, that's all right.
And people got worried.
You had all these other streams that carried the load while you've been gone. So you're not the you ain't the only one.
Yeah.
Definitely. And
Hoodie got a fine too, though. So he's got to worry about that fine he got.
Yeah. From T Dirty, man, trying to charge me $300K next time I go that I don't go live for long again. That's what he said. If you don't go live,
no. You need to charge. Look, you need to charge my man T Dirty 30,000 because he got them big bucks. He big money grip. Yeah, he big money grip.
Hey, but I do before we start asking you a question, Mr. Jerry, about the Saints, man. I do want to give a special shout out, and I know, Jerry, I know you heard of it. I know most of the people in the chat knows it. I just want to send out my prayers and my condolences to Mr. Big Q, man, from the Sports Corner.
Yeah.
He lost his youngest sister in the family a few days ago, and I know he said he's about to step away from streaming for a little bit. So I do want to give a shout out and give him some prayers and condolences. Like I said, I talked to him on Twitter about it and told him if he needs anything to hit me up. And I told him we're gonna hold it down for him, especially while he's going.
Of course, I understand the situation of the passing of a loved one. I understand. I know the situation about that. So is everybody. So, yeah, he was just doing the Pelicans post game report on the summer league, and he thanked each and every one of us for his condolences and his prayers to his family. So most definitely big prayers up to Big Q and his family. We all here. I told him I understand the situation. You want to take a little break from talking Saints talk, talking Pelicans talk. We understand. Do what you got to do. We'll cover for you.
Yeah, that's why. Who that fam strong, man. Gotta support him. Man.
Yes, sir.
That's why
Jerry,
we're here.
And Mr. Jerry, have you heard everything me and Real Film was talking about, man? Is there anything that kind of came across your mind and that you might want to maybe touch up on?
Yes, sir, Hoodie, and Real Fan Sports. One thing you did touch on that I do want to address, and that is that Saints offense. I mean, and also shouts out to everybody in the chat. But that's the one thing that I do want to touch up on, because as you all know, and I say this many times, but now we got a Saints offense that's getting ready to come out of the shadows, because everybody knows from last year we were not on point on our P's and Q's at offense at all. But the defense, they did their thing out there. So I ain't got to worry. I don't have to worry about the Saints defense. They know they duty. But the offense need to start going back to their P's and Q's and doing what they do best. and that's be the most dominant offense on this team, because now you got Jameis Winston back at quarterback, and then you got Chris Olave out the draft, and then you got Jarvis Landry, and then you got the returning, hopefully, Michael Thomas if he stay healthy, and you got these other guys out there. Bruh, look out, because this Saint offense is going to be back to what it needs to be, and that's dominant. We already
Tell him,
know,
Jerry. Tell him.
We already know how the Saints defense roll. I ain't got no issue with that. But the offense, that's what made the major issue right there, and that's why training camp is so important, because they have the rookies starting off on the 19th, which is today now, and the veterans the following week. So something's got to give, because the first preseason game is going to be here sooner than you think. So we got to see these guys step up to the plate, and who's going to make the roster and who's not going to make the roster, and whoever get hurt, whoever's not going to make the roster, they're gonna bring them back to be like the fill-in, because it's going to be a very interesting season this season. I can tell you that.
Definitely. It definitely will be a interesting season, like you said, with all the new weapons and stuff. And I wanted to cover this real quick too while we were talking about this, because it came to my mind. You know how a lot of people are saying, well, I don't think Michael Thomas is ready to go this season either. I don't think he's probably going to miss some games too, because I think that's why they went out and got Jarvis Landry, and that's why they went out and got Chris Olave. I don't really think that's why. I think they just went and got the people and fixed their issue that they had last year, that knowing that we don't have Sean Payton with us, that we're going to go get the leaders and the playmakers that prove to be that guy in the NFL that can help out, while you got Pete Carmichael actually calling the plays, and you don't have Sean Payton in that spot anymore telling them, taking undrafted players and trying to make them stars, where you already got the stars / playmakers doing that job while they just run the plays and doing what they need to do. And why not add a dude like Jarvis Landry and Chris Olave to where Michael Thomas don't have to be that guy anymore, just in case he did get hurt. Now you still got some more solid receivers to help out and hold it down till somebody gets hurt, till the people do get back. So I think a lot of people were overthinking. They were saying, oh, well, there we go. We must have got Jarvis Landry. We must have got Chris Olave because Michael Thomas ain't coming back again. When I heard that he's supposedly going to be back and ready, hopefully by training camp. If not, it's definitely preseason. He'll be ready. So that's a good thing to hear. And I don't know if anybody's seen the little videos on Twitter of Michael Thomas working out and actually playing and doing some routes now. He posted on Instagram. People posted all over Twitter.
Oh, one thing I wanted to say too before I forget. I don't know if it's good news, bad news, or just whatever. One of a friend of mine that I have on Snapchat. I'm not sure where he stays at. I met him in college, but he actually was over at a park playing some basketball, and goodness, let me see if I can pull up the video. I'll put it on the screen real quick so y'all can see it too. But
okay.
But Quan was out here playing some ball with goodness, let me find it. There we go. With Demario Davis earlier this evening.
Okay.
Which I think is kind of huge. I mean, at least he's still, in the city around, in the state of Louisiana, knowing that he hasn't left quite yet. So that could be something special. Hopefully that deal gets done.
Yeah, man, because everybody been asking me every time I come on, has Quan Alexander been signed? Yeah, I say not yet. Like I tell you, and I told Hoodie Jube, I say, whenever we hear breaking news that Quan Alexander is returning to the New Orleans Saints, y'all gonna be the first to know. But
as soon as I see the alert, I'm gonna have a shot.
Instantly. Yep. when you hear that breaking news, that you hear that breaking news sound, that lets you know it's official.
Yes, sir. And by the way, I got it on here while everybody's watching this Michael Thomas. If you look at him, he's planting, his feet into the ground now, stopping for these routes. So it's showing you how much healthier he is now. And I'm super pumped up and super stoked about it. And I know everybody probably seen the Jameis Winston part already of him, gathering the team players together, in Miami, working out with them. I don't know if anybody's seen this video with Jameis Winston.
I think I saw that. I think.
Drawing this right on target.
Hmm.
Oh, I did see that.
Yeah, I
saying.
think I saw that too. I think.
He's got
Man.
that 2020 vision. We ain't worried about that now. We ain't worried about that.
And then the
He's
last
not
one.
worried about no eye surgery this time. I think he see 100%.
he 24-20. He ready to rock and roll.
And he's serious too, bro.
And last but not least, y'all, love this. Have anybody
Love
seen
this.
this today or what Nick Underhill posted about what Chris Olave is doing? He is at City Hall meeting with the city's officials about how he can make the impact in the community right away. And this man hasn't even played a single damn snap for the New Orleans Saints. He's already wanted to know what he can do to help out the community. That shows you what type of leader he's going to bring just as a receiver. And man, I'm telling you,
as a human as well, man. Because I mean, Hoodie, we know you try to do as much as you can for the community too. So we know that's a big thing and part of your brand and a big part of your, supporting your family here on the Hoodie Jube channel. Like, I love to see that.
Amen.
Definitely. And just to tell y'all real quick, man, because I haven't been able to talk to y'all for like 2 damn weeks. So one of them was I talked to this family I was serving on, and next year around March or April, I'm gonna be drawing a special need event. So any kids with special needs, are welcome. Anybody that's got any kids, or whatever, they more than welcome to come. I tell people, even if your kid doesn't have a special need, and they want to come to the event, they can. It's free. It's just whoever wants to come, comes. But it's mainly for the special needs. So we're gonna have the normal kids with no special needs hanging out with the special needs kids. They're gonna be getting along, just having a good time to make these other kids who have a special need or fighting some type of something to basically, teach these kids to have a good time and tell them, hey, there's nothing wrong. If you're in a wheelchair or not, you can still have fun. We can still do this and that. And this table I served on has a water park place that they're about to open near me, and they said I could have it there. They'll have a water slide, inflatables, snowballs, concession stands, you name it. All I got paid for is basically food. So they willing to work with me to help me out on my channel to do that event next year. So I'm super stoked to see that. And then last night, I served on the family. They were my last table of the night. Shout out to them. They just moved all the way from Florida, and they moved out here to Louisiana. And I, made them feel welcome. Talked to them, made their kids laugh, messing with them all. I told one of the 13-year-old son that him and his dad's gonna have to come with me to a Saints game to show him what our culture is about, what's the Saints team about, because he loves football and he wants to get into it. So I told him he'll do that, and found out the dad and them and the family's moving out here because of the dad's job, and he's a professional chef where he cooks big meals for like big events and stuff like that, for like hundreds of people, feeds them. Well, I told him about my event, and he said just hit him up. He gave me his phone number, his name, and all that. Told me he would help me out with my event next year to feed those people, the special need event and stuff like that. So he'll make me something that I might need. And he told me in about a few weeks, maybe to a month, once they get everything settled down into their house and they have that little housewarming, event, he said me and my girl is invited to come because literally I made them feel like at home when I served them. So that's a pretty cool story to tell people, is that I got a professional chef now that I can talk to and call him and hit him up and ask him, if I need to feed 100, 200 people, he can help me cook something and do it. And it came to my mind as soon as he told me that he's willing to help. Number one, I knew I was going to talk to him about my special need event next year. And number two was I can easily ask him, say, hey, can you help me cook for 200 people? Tell me what the price is. Then I was going to call you, real fan, because I know you're from New Orleans as well, and find the people that I talk to that are subscribers that are in New Orleans, and we'll go around, set up a tent, and feed some of the homeless people or anybody that wants to come around, just come grab some food, stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to meet a guy that's a professional chef that would be able to help me do what I want to do in the future now he moved out here, and I said, wow, God's watching over my back. Oh, okay, I serve on a table that has a water park opening up where I wanted to do an event in the first place. Then, me wanting to give back to people, like I said, feeding the homeless or, having food for that event. This guy moves out here now, and I serve on him and his family. It's like God's watching over me, and it's definitely going to happen soon. So everybody mark on y'all calendar, March or April next year, we're going to try to draw that event. So anybody wants to come out here and, help with the event or just attend it, I would truly appreciate it. And I'm not going to force anybody to, put up money. I'm just going to put it. It's going to be out of my pocket. But if y'all did want to donate next year for that, for the event, I will put that donation, on like a Cash App or Venmo, and we'll do all of that. So I can't wait. But
yeah, definitely, man. Make sure you holler at me as that comes by, man. I'll definitely at least come and put a pitch in hand. If I have some spare change around the house, I can help pitch in as well. That's awesome, man.
Yep, that's right.
Definitely. And I wanted to bring on Miss Megan, because I know she's in the back as well. So let's bring on her and the bear over in the background. How you doing, Miss Megan?
Hey guys, I really wish, hearing that about your event, I could fly out for it, but it's going to be just a little too close. Because my good thing about Hoodie not being available to stream is that I'm just about done on the planning for my trip. So I've got to tie my brother down on a chair, which I'm doing tomorrow, to get tickets booked and stuff. But so that's happening. But yes, we missed you. But I found another stream from Oregon that streamed for 9 hours in 3 days, and it was just like, I need to get off this. I actually walked out of my front door to go shopping this morning for the first time in about 6 weeks. So I actually, because I've been getting food, shopping delivered and all of that, but I thought I would get outside, and I sat in the park and I read my book in the park, and it was freezing cold, but absolutely beautiful. But yeah, it's good to have you back, old son. And yeah, I don't know what I can do down here, but let me know if I can do anything to help sort of spread the word on my socials, as I did, as you saw on Twitter, the retweet of your tweet or putting it out on socials. I don't know, aside from donating, which
definitely.
I don't think Hoodie needs to see you do charity nudie runs. All right, you're gonna have to talk to Hoodie.
Whoa, hey, we don't need the bear on the pole. Keep the bear off the pole. Come on.
I was gonna say,
look, the bear want to have fun.
Right.
I tell you what, I will pay you.
I heard Mardi Gras is a good time down there. I heard.
I tell you what, I will pay you to keep your clothes on, and then you give the money to Hoodie. Does that seem fair to you? Yes.
Megan and the bear.
I feel you.
I just wanted to say one thing about Dennis Allen. You were talking about, does he get the flick after 1 year? I know we had a coach in Seattle that got the flick after 1 year, but he had a pathetic year. I think, okay, I'm saying this in looking from the outside, but it would have to be a craptastic year, I feel, for DA to get the boot after one season. Now, if he has 2 craptastic seasons, yeah, you boot him. But I think, I don't see why you would, even if he has all the pieces in place, to my eye, as I said, looking outside, to have a brilliant year. Now, of course, things need to go his way. You need MT, fit. That is frightening to me. A fully fit MT, good God almighty, I'm glad I'm not running into him. Okay, Alvin, look, we don't know what's happening with that. I have my views on it, which I have expressed elsewhere. I personally don't think he should play until it's all said and done. Like, I know the court case keeps being put back through no fault of his own, but I think he should be benched. Get that all out of the way. Suspension if it happens, whatever happens, because I don't.
Well, I know y'all out in Australia, y'all don't play with anything like that, like at all. Because I remember talking to some fellow friends of mine on my stream that are from Australia, and like if they have any suit or anything like that against it, like you might as well book a flight back to your house, your mom's house.
Yeah, pretty much. Say, for example, you mentioned the Origin, and yes, I am cheering about that. Now, if one of those players can be fully justified, as I'm sure Alvin was, in laying out that guy because he was hazard, that's an instant suspension. That is at least 1 to 2 years suspension.
Wait, you talking about the punch?
Yeah.
Where they choked out him?
No, I'm not saying for Alvin. I'm saying if a player in rugby.
Okay. Good.
I'm using the Alvin situation as an example.
Yeah.
That is at least a minimum 1 to 2 year league suspension, and then anything that happens from the courts is added to that. We had a player in rugby in New Zealand banned for 10 years.
Ooh.
For a very similar. Now,
yeah, they don't play at all. There was there was a player that played for the 49ers that came back and tried to get back on a team, and he had I don't know if it was like a domestic abuse or something like that. And yeah, his whole career is just
Barbara,
like stricken. Like you don't play with him anymore.
It's not about. I understand guilty.
I say we step off this conversation.
It is that here too, but this guy, the victim that was hit by this guy, needed major facial and jaw reconstructions. He was sucking food through a straw for 4 years before his jaw was right. He was a rugby player himself. He never played again.
Wow.
So yeah, at bare minimum, this guy got 10 years and a very severe assault charge as well, which led to jail.
As far as what you say, do I think he deserves a suspension? Yeah, at some point, I think he does. I just wish there was I wish there was like I don't agree with him being suspended until that there's a court appearance or whatever, a settlement.
Okay,
but I would hate to see him get suspended this year and then the court case come out and
that might be the one.
And then say something next year, and then all of a sudden then he's suspended again. Like make it a one-time punishment.
I agree with that. It's one suspension, but I feel for an assault charge, whether proven false or not.
Definitely. Okay. Now you were talking about Dennis Allen and saying that if he had unless he had like a craptastic year, then you would say. So the only thing that I'll say against that, and I would hope not, because I feel like we don't treat our coaches and players, at least not the majority of us, treat our coaches and players like how Philadelphia fans treats all their sports coaches and players, where if you have one bad year, like you get the boot. But I will say this with this year, especially because of all the weapons and all the people that you brought in, and especially with how like salary cap eventually hit and stuff like that, and like really maxes out, making it really hard on the GMs to get all that stuff settled. It is important for him to play well this year. It is important for him that a winning season. It is important for him to get to the playoffs. And
I'm not saying
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't have a winning season and doesn't get into the playoffs, that there wouldn't be some questions floating about and about
as
him
there
leaving.
should be. But my question to you, Real, is if it goes pear-shaped, you have 15 injuries. Jameis goes down, God forbid. MT, God forbid. Alvin suspended.
If there's injuries like there has been in the last couple of years, if there's injuries like there's been the last couple of years, I'm firing our whole entire medical staff and I'm getting a whole new.
Fire the medical staff. I don't have a problem with that, but do you blame it on bad luck or on DA for not realizing
you can't exactly blame it on DA for something like that, that's all.
That's what I'm saying.
Situational
stuff absolutely should be canned if you go down with 25 injuries.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But I will say that if he does have a bad year, I wouldn't doubt that he wouldn't be on the chopping block just because of all the talent that we do have in here right now. I wouldn't be surprised.
When I say a bad year, I'm talking like it should go so pathetically. For him to have
you're talking like six wins and 12 losses or whatever, 11 losses. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Well, that leads to a good question. Hoodie, Jerry, and Megan as well. What would y'all consider a like absolute like bust year? Like, what is like the minimum amount of wins that you feel like you'd question things about DA and our moves? Not that we think that it's going to happen. What is y'all's thoughts on that? If that makes sense.
Anything less than about 8, I would say.
Well, the only thing that I like to see.
Good point. Being lost. Yep.
With Dennis Allen as our new coach, I'd say, because they're talking about us winning like 7 or 8 games this coming season.
Well, that's stupid.
Well, everybody knows that's stupid because everybody knows, especially my Who Dat Nation, everybody knows that the Saints going to win more than 7 and 8 games. You probably gonna look at like, let's say, I don't know, 14-3 or 13-4 or 12-5. Because Lord knows the Saints gonna win more than like around 7 or 8 games. Because look, for those of y'all that did not catch my little rant I did on the State of the Saints podcast a week ago, go back and look at that for yourself. Because I went full blast last week on his channel. And believe me, it was raw. May not have been like a Monday Night Raw or something like that, but I went off like crazy. Believe me. You just check it out for yourself. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Because that don't even make no sense at all. I mean, I think it's like all the Saints are being overlooked or something, and he just recently did something about Sean Payton or something like that. But check it out for yourself because I'm telling you, I mean, I was over there, and shouts out to my guy Michael. I don't know if he's in the chat or not, but he came in. He picked up right where I left off. Well, first it started off with TJ Jones because
let him know, Jerry. When you talk,
he had to start. He started the fire up, but I had to come in there and add some more fuel to it. But when Michael came up in there, when Michael came up in there, I told everybody in the chat, I say, you might want to get your fire extinguishers. You might want to get. Might want to get your water hose because
fire. Who else is surprised? Who else is not surprised?
13 years old brought that fire and that passion about this New Orleans Saints. He brought it. I'm telling you.
I love that.
Bruh.
But who is raise your hands if you're surprised that OG added fuel to that fire. I'm gonna sit on my hands because that.
Wait. So what are we talking about?
Yeah. I was gonna say, give us a quick synopsis, Jerry. I know you say you're ready to go to sleep, but give us a synopsis real quick, man.
No. God of Creation. I'm glad you came on, and I don't know if you caught it last week on TJ Jones's podcast. He was ranting and stuff about the Saints, are the Saints being overlooked and stuff like that. And I mean, he started it off, and then I came in, and then a few others came in. But also young Michael, he came up in there, bruh, at the age of 13, with that knowledge he got in his head, bruh.
Oh, I love that.
He brought the fire just like I did. But he had it more. He had it more.
So much.
Hey, you know what's crazy? So I have a Steelers fan at work, and I tell him, I was like, damn, I was like, shit, man, you better watch out for us, man. We dangerous. And you know what he gonna ask me?
Here we go.
You know what he gonna ask me?
He's
not gonna ask what he didn't ask. What have y'all done what'd you do last season? Who's your receivers? This man gonna ask me, who's y'all's quarterback?
I knew that was coming.
Oh.
And you know what?
Who's y'all's quarterback?
Oh, I knew Hoodie was gonna come on crazy, bro.
Hoodie's
Hoodie,
like,
You know,
Hoodie came up like the Undertaker on that one, bro.
and I'm just like, he's a dude who threw 5,000 yards, and then he was like, but he went 30 for 30. I'm like, see, which y'all? I'm like, he said he threw as much touchdowns as he did picks. I was like, that is incorrect. He threw more TDs than he did picks. And I'm like, who? You talking about the nigga when he's on a different team. He's on a completely different team. What is him? What is that? That don't even make no sense. If you're a police officer and you switch to a firefighter, they're not gonna be like, I want to see what would you do as an officer, because that exactly translates to a firefighter. Like, no, man, you're in two different fields, man. Like, come on, what they even be talking about, bro?
I mean, God crazy.
Who that?
Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? J Live 504. Can I add this? GOC. Now, don't get me wrong, because I have quite a few Steelers fans myself that I deal with. You ain't the only one, God of creation, because but you should have asked that Steelers fan that worked with you. That said, you're talking about asking us who our quarterback
right.
is.
Who's your
quarterback? Gonna be y'all quarterback this
That's
season?
what I'm saying. That's what I asked him, but he got real quiet.
Y'all.
Trubisky?
Is it going to be Trubisky? Is it going to be Pickett? Is it going to be who?
But they got so many quarterbacks. It's a Russian roulette with quarterbacks over there.
He retired.
Yeah, it's not going to be Trubisky.
But the thing is,
it's likely going to be Trubisky.
With them, they got Tomlin. So Tomlin always gonna make sure shit's straight over there.
True. That's fact.
He don't play
fact.
that stuff. He doesn't care if it was Big Ben, AB. He don't care if you're the best player on that field. My man's gonna make sure everything's straight. So,
but I tell you what, I will give credit where it's due, because they did bring in Brian Flores for Miami as the new defensive coordinator. So I give him that, because
that's what he should have did.
That was a huge mistake that the Miami Dolphins did to him.
Right, that was stupid. That was so stupid. That was so lame.
Look, let's just say Miami hasn't done anything right since since Marino, and they even fucked that up. Let's just put that out there.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie, something wrong with that team, because it's like, how are you gonna have a dude who is successful working on scheme, but then you're like, we're gonna move the offensive coordinator, and then we're gonna also trust in the young. Like, bro, I'm here to tell people, hey, if you're a Dolphins fan, hey, listen up, bro. Y'all's QB is shit. Stop acting like you're gonna be something. That man is
but let's be real though. The Dolphins got talent. They have talent on that team, bro.
Yes, they got talent. Ain't nobody said that. Ain't nobody said they didn't have talent.
We'll see. We'll check them out this year, man.
I'm talking about that QB. Year, right? I'm like, people, because look at how they treat Tua. They talking about Dolphins and they compare to the Saints. Nigga, Jameis is 3 times better than Tua, bro. There ain't no way in hell you can't tell me the Saints ain't being better than the Dolphins.
Whoa.
Drew Lock is better than Tua, okay? And that's not that's not giving Drew any credit.
Man, but they want to Miami. They're gonna go they ain't going nowhere. They're gonna stay right where they are at the bottom of that division.
And they were talking about they might be the favorites to win the AFC East. I mean, think about it. You know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right here. Because if they think that they're gonna win the AFC East, I got news for you, Dolphins fans. I don't see it happening. As long as Josh Allen and Buffalo or Mac Jones or the Patriots run things up there, I just don't see. The Dolphins might will come in third place. Well, but the Jets, man, please.
And let me throw out some little fire. I know most of y'all gonna agree with this. Hey, look, everybody, I'm gonna need y'all to stop getting on the Cowboys chopping block.
Yes.
Stop hoeing the Cowboys, please. I'm gonna need some more respect from everybody. Let's stop.
That's what talk about, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let's stop. Put all your hate and anger in the 90s and 80s. It's 2022, about to be 2023, bruh. Let that shit go. That's in the 80s and 90s. Leave that shit there, right? And they want to be like, Cowboys have the worst fan base and blah blah blah.
Yes, they do.
Look, y'all see the idiots of the Cowboys fans. That's why y'all think that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, come on, bro. They stop holding my Cowboys like they ain't them dogs in that division. Stop it, bro.
Cowboys get no respect around here.
Hey, can I say this right here? Because that's all. Look, and I explained this on TJ's on his channel. I say, man, look, they can talk about the Dallas Cowboys all they want. They can talk about the Los Angeles Rams all they want. They can talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all they want. For all I give a damn, because the New Orleans Saints are the best team in the NFL.
Sorry, Jerry.
No disrespect, Megan and
Megan, don't say nothing, bro.
No disrespect. No disrespect.
Oh, wow.
I'm saying what came out coming from me.
The key word he said was the best team.
We were keeping this nice.
Look. Like I said, no disrespect, Megan. We love you. We love you from down under, and the Bear too. Love
hey,
y'all.
Megan, you can have parties with us when we winning. You invited over there.
We would not be happy with that Seattle roster. That's all I'm saying.
God, have a look at what coach has got in his hand. So
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know how Megan doing it because I'll be ready to commit suicide.
I'll be mad at the front office, the owner. Like, right, she don't even know football.
She knows more. Actually, time out. She knows more than you think. She actually does.
Oh shit!
And I will jump to her defense in that, because if you.
No, I'm saying that's what we'll be saying if we had this roster. If we made those type of moves.
Oh, sorry.
Like her head would be on the chop. No, I love Benson. I love Miss Benson. I love Miss Benson. Miss Benson.
Miss Benson is awesome. I love that there's another female.
Yeah, I love that. I love that Miss Benson went to the summer league game last weekend. I thought that was dope. How often do you see owners pull up to the summer league?
I didn't know
for the
that doesn't. What little I know about Miss Benson, that doesn't surprise me a whole lot that she would do something like that.
I saw her at the Pelicans game for the Spurs play-in game. I mean, obviously I didn't talk to her, but like you can just tell, like she's very sincere. Like she smiles
at everyone. Anything bad about everyone. She never heard anything bad about her, bro.
You have not. You have not.
Oh well, unless it came from what was that girl name? Something Rita LeBlanc.
Yeah, whatever it is. Right. Yeah.
That was the only time.
Real, you just said you'd spoken to Miss Benson.
No, I said I didn't. I didn't speak to her, but I saw her. She was like, I was like fifth row. She was on the floor. I just saw her, and like you can just tell, like,
okay. I was gonna say
the way she smiled and she looked at people, and like people would yell her name, and she turned, smile, wave. You know, like she wasn't like stuck up.
I ain't gonna lie. If I had the type of money she had, I'll be smiling too.
Can I say this right here? Can I say this right here? Look.
I tell you what, if I had that many zeros on the end of my bank account, I'd be smiling too.
Oh, she do it big.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. I like that she doesn't. She's not a Jerry Jones for us. That shit would be terrible.
Yes, you are blessed that you don't have Jerry Jones.
But I tell you what.
But you know what? Why you chirping? She is like a modern day Jerry Jones in a female's body. The reason I say it is,
you better get out of here.
She let us spend what we want to spend. You know.
I tell you.
We can keep whoever we want to keep. We can change the
Derrick
books
Jones don't
if
allow
we
that.
want to be the books.
Wait, hold on.
Derrick Jones don't allow that.
Jerry, what were you trying to say, Jerry?
No, I'm just saying if y'all been watching Big Q's channel, and cause I love it when he do the impression of Miss Benson, because every time he pop on this, he gonna say, "You better get out of here."
Oh, that's what that was. I had no damn clue, but I will say
that was me doing the invitation.
I will say that Seattle had the best owner with the Bears' namesake.
Yeah.
They can be on all the podcasts.
Paul Allen was one of the best owners.
Paul G. Allen.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Paul Allen.
Yeah,
was
whenever I saw Miss Benson down there, I was, like I said, like she could hear me for sure. I was yelling. I said, I know everybody asked you to sign checks. I was like, can you sign my T-shirt, please?
Yes.
Or break out
the T-shirt that looks like a
Right.
Hey, break some of that bread that you got. Yeah.
Yes, I know the shirt looks like $1 million check, Miss Benson, but please ignore all those zeros there and just sign your name. Thank you, please, and thank you. Yeah, I like Miss Benson. I think you got a good owner there.
Oh yeah.
But as I said, we were spoilt with Paul Allen as our owner. I mean, he built Lumen.
Who's the owner now?
Paul Allen's sister Jody. Or more correctly, the Paul G. Allen Trust is the owner, but she is the head of the trust.
Okay. You know, this might be a hot take. This might be a hot take, but I feel like we can easily have a top 3 offense.
Oh yeah.
You talking Hoodie Jube, grab that microphone. He ready to talk that.
Hey,
mess.
look.
Tell him,
Hey,
Hoodie.
you know what's crazy is I remember you were like, I don't think we're gonna be that. We're gonna be like 8. I'm like,
I got like 7 or 8. Yeah.
I'm like, who's gonna be better than us offensively? Like, are the Bills? Like,
yeah,
maybe.
They got one receiver. Who else is doing shit? They don't got a running back. Who's gonna be running?
Singletary played.
David
Singletary played amazing at the end of the year, right there. I think he's gonna play well.
Well, he played okay.
He played like ass all year until the last 3 games. Last 3 games, he played crazy.
All right, he played okay. He played. Man, nobody's worried. No one's worried about Singletary. It's like, what are the Bucks? Are the Bucks gonna be better than us offensively?
No.
I mean,
look,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
real quick. Can I say this real quick, guys?
Green Bay ain't.
I didn't mean to cut you off there, look, if y'all don't notice, because last week, you know, we all had our little rant and stuff, but TJ Jones played the clip of this podcast. I think he showed us, and and one of the guys saying that the Saints are not going to make the playoffs, and Hoodie Jube, with that look he just did, it's the same look, that same are you out your freaking mind look? Don't think they won't make the playoffs. I look at it and I say, you big dummy. I said, you big dummy.
You smoke crack, don't you?
And Hoodie, I gave them the same look that you just did. I gave them that. Are you out of your mind?
The easiest
right, they must think we the Seahawks.
The easiest bet that anyone can make is the Saints are making the playoffs. How they do in the playoffs, that's whatever. That's up to them. But the safest and easiest money you'll make all year is to bet that the Saints make the playoffs. I am putting money on that as a 12, by the way.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm putting it out there right now. There's actually a like crazy bet going on, or odds going on. If y'all are betting people of the Saints making the Super Bowl, that you could probably put like a couple hundred on, and then once they make it to the playoffs, pull out, and you could probably still make a couple grand off it. Just like
easily.
Just like
hey, look, I ain't gonna lie, like Yeah. If,
All right,
if
peace out.
who's the
All right, good
who's
night.
like one of the first hardest teams we play, like the Bucks? Well, actually, let's not count them. We gonna whoop their ass. Who's who we play that's like super like that would be tough. Our first tough game. Cause I've looked at the schedule, but it's like I didn't look. I can't remember. It's been a while. I think it's like
Well, shit, man. That's the best thing
well,
about football. It's
whoever.
a game of
I feel
matchups.
like like just that's like
Bengals are
that's
first
such an
toughest.
easy bet.
Every year we play a team that we think we gonna beat, but sometimes it just comes down to those matchups, man.
The thing about that is the reason why it was like that. I feel like is because offense wasn't stable.
That's true too. I mean, we was
Because
going through.
if
We
you
was
think
going
about
through
it,
some
like
shit.
one of our best times with offense was 2017 or 2018, somewhere around there, when we had Ted Ginn, Michael Thomas, you know what I'm saying, and we had Alvin. We also had Mark Ingram was still playing pretty good, really good. Like it's just like I feel like we didn't have our wide receiver core was either Michael Thomas play good or the secondary person would have to get all the targets because they're doubling Mike, and we really haven't had that in the last recent years, especially since Emmanuel played one season. Michael Thomas, I think that's if I'm not mistaken, that season is the season he was hurt a lot. So, you know what I'm saying? The last time we actually had a real wide receiver core was like probably when Brandon Cooks and Michael Thomas and you know what I'm saying, and
That
all
was the
those
last
guys
time.
was there.
Brandon Cooks and Michael Thomas.
All right, but besides that, we really didn't. It was like Michael Thomas either led us to victory, or the second guy would have to catch up, and AK would do his thing, and Mark Ingram would do their thing, running. And now that I think of it, we ran the ball a lot. Like I watched, I think it was I watched the Lions and Saints game, and I watched another game we played. I think it was the Rams. And when we had Mark Ingram and AK, we sure did run the ball a lot. And sometimes it'll be games where it was like Michael Thomas touched the ball like 3 times, and it was just like we would kill people because of the running scheme. So I don't see us being like anything outside of 6.
I tell you what, in that short little clip that they showed of Mike Thomas running them routes, man. Hey, I think he's gonna be all right, bro.
Right. He looked rusty. I ain't gonna lie.
He looked rusty. He looked rusty running that long, running all the way down the field. But
yeah,
I think him doing his cuts and coming out of his breaks, that was encouraging.
Yeah, exactly. Because I remember when he used to do that shit, silky smooth, nigga. He'll cut super quick, and it'll be like instant. He's like his cuts were lethal. But I'm like, maybe since he needed, but he's
a complete route runner, bro. Like his whole game, the way he get off the line, the way he move, he's still gonna be a problem.
Right, and no, of course, I don't think he's gonna like. He's not gonna lose a step. He just gotta regain the step. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like he's rusty. It's different when somebody's not guarding. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. So he's got to get the rust up from off under him. But I don't know why people are so worried about him doing good when what made him great. What made him great was his technique. You don't. If you do something, if you're a professional at something and you do it for multiple years and years and years and years and years and years, just because you miss 2 years of it, if you even want to call it that, you know what I'm saying? It's not like you're gonna just I completely don't know what the F to do now. I just don't know what to do. It's like, no, what made him, it's not like it was his speed to where it's like, his Achilles got messed up, or his leg got messed up. Now we got to worry about, like, if Tyreek's leg got messed up, you're gonna like, you know what I'm saying? Because Tyreek's not a route runner. You're like, oh dang, is he gonna be fast as fast? Because that's what made him good. But Michael Thomas, it wasn't his speed, it was his route running and his technique that made him special. So his injury isn't going unless it prohibits his movement, then it's not going to affect him.
Yeah, I was just worrying about how you get off the line because that's how Mike Thomas get open. Like, can he still get
and
off
if he
the
can
line?
get off that line, good. Shoot, he'll be fine.
He'll be all right.
Right, because he's a mental player. I don't know if a lot of people see it, but he's
a
good
route
at
technician, man.
Right, he's good at chopping people's arms away if they trying to press him. He's good at faking people out. Like, he was a technical wide receiver. He was like a Cooper Kupp. Like, when we saw Cooper Kupp last year going crazy and being technical, it was not like, oh my God, Cooper Kupp's speed is just going. No, it's like, damn, Cooper Kupp cooked the shit out of him with a route. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't know why people. He's not even a top 10 wide receiver now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like understandable, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, whatever. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like they got goofies above, Michael Thomas and shit. So it's like, whatever, man.
Hey, got a creation, J Live, my man, Real Fans, and Miss Megan. I was just letting everybody know I had a great time, man. I'm glad to be back with y'all. Like I said, we're gonna definitely go live the next 2 nights since I'm gonna be at the hotel still with some good internet. And then Thursday, we'll be heading back. So hopefully by the weekend or by next week, we'll be in the office. Hopefully, hopefully I can rent that office out and have great internet to where none of this stuff will be tripping. But I do need to get off of here and go hang with the girl. Like I said, we out here for her birthday, so she gave me a little bit of time, to do this. So I'm gonna go hang with her, get some rest, go bring her to do some things for her birthday tomorrow as well. So I do appreciate every single one of y'all for checking in on me. A lot of people did hit me up on social media and stuff, literally concerned about me and saying, "Do we need to send in a check unit to check in on you? Do we need to send in some search people to come search on you and stuff?" I'm like, "No, I'm good. It's just the internet is terrible because I overused my gigabytes on the box that I was using." So
I'm not sure I'll be on tomorrow. I'm babysitting my nephew this time tomorrow and planning the trip. I may have the phone on, but he's going to want to climb on and, well, you might get to meet Ollie. Who knows? We'll see.
Definitely. But J Live, got a creation, and Miss Megan and Real Fans, I do appreciate every single one of y'all coming on and talking it up, especially Mr. Jerry. And Mr. Jerry as well, who hopped off already. He went to sleep, so good night to Mr. Jerry as well. But everybody, thank y'all again for joining on in. And we're going to hit up again tomorrow. Like I said, the next 2 nights, we're going to hit up probably around the same time just to kind of chat it up a little bit. And
of course, man. Yeah, hey, have a good time out there, bro. Don't lose all your money on the slots or on the blackjack or whatever your flavor is, bro. Take it easy. Hey,
and if you win some, I would like donations to the trip fund. Would be most appreciated.
Damn, Megan trying to milk you, bro.
Right. Hey, and before this, man, we gonna create another GoFundMe for Megan's team, the Seahawks, because all the mighty have fallen. You know what I'm saying? We need to get them a little bit of money in their pockets so they can get them a good QB. You know what I'm saying? They need a team right over there.
We'll use that QB to smash you next year. Works well for us.
All right. Hey, take it easy, Hoodie. You have a great night, man. I'll catch you next time, bro.
Yes, sir. Yeah, be safe out there, bro.
Yeah, be safe.
All love. Appreciate y'all, chat.
Yes, sir.
Like the video.
You know how we end this show.
Y'all
know how we do the. Y'all know how we do the show, y'all. With that being said, everybody, make sure y'all spam that like button. Make sure y'all turn y'all notifications on, and also make sure you subscribe if y'all are new to the channel. And with that being said, I'll see y'all tomorrow night again. And love and definitely miss y'all. And this was definitely a fun night to be back live with y'all again. So see y'all tomorrow night. And all I can tell everybody is what? Who that, baby? And I am out.
in the building shining now. That NO, you can't see us. Our time is now. Saints going to the Super Bowl, talking black and gold. Cameron Jordan on the field, about to take a QB soul. Ever Camara break a tackle, so you know he bold. Mike Thomas catching everything, so you know he cold. He talking Tyrann Mathieu, he talking Marcus May. We in the backfield, we gon' make a pay. Them boys hitting hard, they need an X-ray. Yeah. We talking black and gold. 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 Straight to the Super Bowl. Your time is up. Our time is now. Say Hoodie, you can't see us. Our time is now. Hoodie Jube in the building. We shining now. We shining. You can't see us. Our time is now. You heard me? Your time is up. Our time is now. You can't see us. Our time is now. Say Hoodie, Hoodie Jube in the building. We shining.
Here he is, Hoodie